Today, we're going to be taking a look at what makes men facially attractive. You will see other people every day, and you can easily tell whether someone is attractive or not, almost instantly. Although you can immediately rate somebody on a scale of 1 to 10. Do you know what specific features are universally attractive? For this video, we are going to disregard personal choice, although preference surely plays a role in attraction. While some may find the features we go over in this video less than ideal, we are sticking to science whenever possible. Please remember, everybody has attractive features, and nobody has exclusively ideal features. So let's begin. We start off with a composite average head of a healthy American male. Generally speaking, average features on both sexes are considered quite attractive. Our boy certainly ain't no slouch, so let's see what we can do to take it to the next level. For the top third of the head, having hair is considered more attractive. Although bald heads are seen as more masculine, as they may signify high levels of the male hormone DHT. The top of the hairline should be farther back than on a woman, with the sides forming a generally square shape. Having shorter hair is seen as more masculine, although not always more attractive, and good grooming is definitely appealing. Going further down, we run into the middle third. These parts are named so because ideally, they make up equal parts of the face's length. This is our male with fixed facial thirds. Changing the hairline lets us accurately measure the thirds. Top third begins at the hairline and ends at a point on the forehead called the glabella. Although some people may surely have preferences, there is actually no solid correlation between blonde hair and attraction in males. Since more commonly, hair color is dark, we're going to let it stay that way. Focusing on the middle third, the part of the face between the glabella and the subnasal, we find many features that give people distinct looks compared to others. Next, we have the eyebrows, the shape and density of which are strongly related to both masculinity and attraction. Eyebrows on males that are more circular shaped and farther from the eyes are deemed as high truss, and while this may inspire confidence, it does not exude it. Thicker, straighter, slanted brows that are closer set to the eyes signal high male hormones and are attractive to the opposite sex. One of the most important and varied features of the middle third is the eyes. The formula for determining mathematically if horizontal eye placement is ideal is measuring interpupillary distance, also known as IPD. Simply put, the distance between the eyes is ideally the same width as each eye. This measurement extends past eyes though, as the ideal nose width is the same as the width of the interpupillary distance. This can seem a subtle change, so don't miss it as we transform our face. From here on, some seemingly small changes make very large differences. Do you know what the canthal tilt of your eyes is? If not, then you probably also didn't notice that our male's eyes are very slightly off in their angles. If I told you one eye was negative canthal tilt and the other was neutral canthal tilt, would that make any sense? Did that help? Don't blink. You may have trouble finding just where you're about to change, but you will most likely notice the face looks different. One very well documented feature of attraction in men and women is having a positive canthal tilt. That is the innermost part of the eye being lower than the outermost. Although you may have trouble finding what was just changed in front of your eyes, you may be able to acknowledge the person you're staring at now is more attractive. The angle change we just did is small, and it's just a part on our way to idealize, but it's probably the most subtle, so check out the different angle when it's labeled, just so you know you're not being tricked. Although we're talking about eyes, much of facial attractiveness has to do with the skull. In this case, the eye socket. Robust eye sockets made to protect and shield from attack result in deeper set eyes. They appear thinner and smaller, and are another more masculine trait that is also more attractive in men. We still aren't done with the windows to the soul yet, and in fact one of the most striking features in men's eyes doesn't have to actually do with the eye organ or placement of it. Again, the bone structure and the masculine dimorphism of features are what helps take eyes to the next level. The inability to see the upper eyelid due to thicker eye socket bones results in what is known as hooded eyes. While girls may dread having this feature, in men it is very often what leads to what is commonly known as hunter eyes. Now it's time to talk about my personal favorite, albeit of a different kind: cheeks. Prominent, defined, high-set cheekbones and lean cheeks are another very bony feature that take things up a notch. A sign of good development, everybody knows someone with great cheekbones. This is a feature that varies so much from person to person, but is often mentioned in the same breath as your ideal mate. Do I have to say more? Still on the subject of bones, we go to the lower part of the face, to a part much more correlated with masculinity and sexual dimorphism, the jaw. Wide and angular jaws that don't overextend past the middle third are ideal for a man. The jaw isn't actually a muscle, and neither is a broad chin, another highly male dimorphic and attractive feature. A yet even more overlooked feature is the length of the ramus, a part of the bone that extends most vertically in the jaw. The ideal ramus is quite long and helps to increase the size of the head while the face stays the same. Despite what many people say about square jaws, there's actually an optimal angle between the ramus and the rest of the jaw, and it isn't 90 degrees. Although you would need to turn our man sideways and use a protractor to see it, an angle of about 130 degrees is most attractive. So instead of a square, let's call this jaw square. Oh, and by the way, you may not have noticed, but we have given our man more hollow cheeks. It may seem very subtle, but this feature is most prominent in men with low facial body fat, and it highlights the difference in emptiness in the mouth, contrasting with the dense and robust cheek, jaw, and maxillary bones. While the neck may be only part of the head, it can certainly make a difference in how people perceive the face since they are in close proximity. Despite many people not focusing on this part of the body, it easily makes a very large difference in how you perceive our man. Of course you've heard tall, dark, and handsome. While this may not have any basis in hair or eye color outside of minority preferences, it does have a difference in skin tone. While there's data on different races that supports this, we are focusing specifically on people of the same race. In that case, the typical American Caucasian. To highlight the difference, we can assume one man will be born with paler skin or perhaps spend all day inside playing video games. The other man has high pigments of yellow and red, which increases attractiveness from often being outside the sun. Our active male on the right is scientifically more attractive, so I guess some sayings and looks do have basis, just not the way you may think. Technically red and yellow are darker than white. Now that we're nearing the end, just how much did we actually change on our man? See for yourself. Our starting male wasn't ugly by any means, but we are certainly looking at a completely different person, especially in terms of attractiveness. In a final exercise in improbability, symmetrical features are most attractive. Can you spot the difference from our very attractive man from before to our impossibly attractive man now? Well, how'd you do? It's safe to say our male was already very symmetrical, and making his features perfect turned him from unbelievable to impossible. For almost everybody, the most noticeable feature will be the neck mirroring. It's quite hard to tell without knowing what a very symmetrical person looks like compared to perfect symmetry, which is completely unrealistic. And now for a last look from where we ended to where we started with our original male. Nobody will ever be perfectly ideally attractive or probably ever close naturally or even with cosmetic applications. If you did find out something about yourself that you didn't know was attractive though, leave a like below. Thankfully, in modern society, you can be enjoyed despite your looks, although I hope many of you have realized you are actually in some way enjoyed because of them. Because nearly every single person has something attractive about themselves.